smash that like button and subscribe, or I'm gonna end up homeless. Alright, so as many of you know, the Cyber Kit did join the party of Bedwars and all of its fun shenanigans going on. This kit is pretty interesting and pretty spicy, so for today's video we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of this kit and whether or not you should or should not buy it. That said, I'm going to queue up some gameplay and we're going to jump right into those pros and cons. Okay, so just a quick thing before we get started on the pros and cons, I just want to explain how this kit works. Basically, when you put on the Cyber Kit, it's going to put a drone in your shop, and with that drone in the shop, you are able to buy it for 15 iron. And when you buy that drone, you'll be able to take control of the drone. This will zoom you out of your character and put you in the drone view, much like a Vulcan turret. And basically what you could do with this is you could fly around anywhere on the map, picking up any resources. I don't think it has a range, at least not yet as of making this video. Some things can change, and you can also seem to put it in a chest and give it to your teammates as of right now. Those things, I don't know if they're intended. They might get taken out of the game. I'm not sure. But on that note, basically what this thing is going to do, you're going to grab a drone and you're going to be able to just fly this thing around and grab iron, diamonds, emeralds. You can even pick up TNT with it and drop TNT. I think you could pretty much pick up any item in the game. That said, you can only pick up one thing at a time. But it's mainly used to steal resources, like fly to a diamond generator, steal those, fly to an enemy's generator and steal their iron, or even fly to the middle and steal those precious emeralds that we all love and know. On that note though, let's jump into these pros here. So I got a few pros here that I wrote up about the kit after a few games and a little bit of testing in custom games. And the first pro is that you can steal resources from anywhere. Now I did briefly say that earlier, but yes, pretty much so once you get this drone for 15 iron, you can quickly zoom over to diamond generators and just nab up those diamonds real quick. You can even go to mid and nab up those emeralds real quick and then bring them back to yourselves and drop them off, essentially stealing resources from anywhere. You can even go into an enemy's generator and steal their stack of iron if they haven't been back home in a while. On that note, the second pro is that this drone moves faster than somebody on foot. Now, it may not move as fast as somebody like Baker's Speed Pie or something, but it definitely does have the advantage over how fast a player does run, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about people catching your drone and killing it, or per se, people beating you to the diamond generator. You should beat most people there as long as you're keeping those timers in your head and you're zooming your way over there. The third pro is that you're going to be able to save money on blocks, and what I mean by this is that you no longer have to buy wool blocks and build over to your diamond generators. You won't have to spend that no more, because for 15 iron you can just buy this drone and you can just fly to each of the diamond generators, grab them and come back, and you don't have to waste any money on blocks. So in a sense, you don't have to build any resources that you want to go get. You could just fly over there and grab them, so you could potentially save some money on blocks. And that's going to bring us into our last pro that I have for this video, and that's that you can TNT bomb from a safe distance on top of teammates. So what I mean by this is that you can fly over somebody's bed and drop TNT straight out of your inventory with the drone. Fun little pro tip I found though is if you split the stack of TNT between you and the drone, you can mash Z and X on your keyboard and drop the TNT twice as fast, where if it's just in your inventory you can only spam one, and if it's on the drone directly then it can only drop one at a time. So it is better that you split them up if you really want to spam a bunch of TNT. This is mainly useful for when you have a teammate, because a lot of people, as soon as they see you going for their bed, they're going to body block or they're going to spam builds on it, and you don't want to deal with that. So why I put on top of teammates is because TNT is not going to hurt your teammate. So you can go over there with a drone and just start spamming the TNT while your teammate just stands in there, mines it, and then every time a TNT blasts, it's going to blow up bed covering, it's going to blast the enemy's way, essentially making a bed pretty easy to get as long as you got some team cooperation with one of your buddies. You could definitely pull off some nasty tricks and bed breaks with this kit. On that note, we are going to move into the cons that I wrote up for this kit. And of course, they're pertaining to what the kit's downfalls are. What do you fail to do when you're using this kit? So the first thing I have wrote in my cons is that you can't move while using the drone. That's obvious. Just like a Vulcan turret, if you're in your tablet playing on your drone, you're not going to be of any use as an in-person thing unless you're willing to swap out real quick and get on your character and start playing. And that's going to bring us into our next con, and that's that you could leave your base pretty blind. Even if you're sitting there in the generator or something while flying your drone, it is potentially still at risk, because you're only going to hear or see what the drone hears and sees. You're not going to see or hear what's going on with your character very much. So yeah, just make sure you keep a good eye on your base and make sure no one's rushing you, because you don't want to be that guy on his tablet not paying attention to what's going on at your base while you're across the map getting a diamond generator or something. And that's going to move us into our third con, and our third con is that drones fall from the air when not in use. Now, it would be so overpowered, but it would be cool that if you left the drone that it would stay hovering where you left it. Instead, as soon as you leave the drone, they're just going to plummet from the sky. So if you're in a hurry and you have to exit out of your drone real quick because someone's attacking you in person, or someone you're trying to defend your bed, or whatever it may be that you need to hurry and get out of your drone, if it's over the void at that time and you jump out of it, it's going to plummet down the void and blow up, and you will have to buy a new one. And if you were carrying some juicy loot, that juicy loot is going to go with the drone into the void. So just make sure you're over some land or in a safe spot when you park your drone. Like I said, though, in certain scenarios where you're in an intense moment and you have to get off of it right then and there, it could be hard to get in a nice parking spot because, well, you're in a hurry. On that note, we're going to move into the last con before we talk about whether you should or should not buy this kit. And that last con is going to be, you can only carry one thing at a time. So you can't go pick up diamonds, emeralds all at the same time and bring a big old smorgasbord of resources back. You kind of have to focus in on one resource that you want. You either kind of got to focus on stealing iron from enemy generators, you either got to focus on stealing diamonds from the diamond generators, or you got to focus on stealing emeralds from the emerald generators. You can only carry one at a time, so it's good to pick a focus of what you're going for. I personally like to go for diamonds first because I think this leads to permanent good upgrades for my team, where I see a lot of other drone players seem to really enjoy going for those emeralds, and I just don't think emeralds are that viable early game. They are useful, but I do just generally in squads prefer to get diamonds first, as upgrades lead to you outscaling your teammates, or your enemies I should say, really quickly. And with that, that is all of the pros and cons I've written. If you got any other pros or cons you would like to let me know about or let other people know about, make sure to comment them below. I'll appreciate them and other people appreciate them. We can all learn something new from each other, and that is a lovely thing. On that note, my opinion, should you or should you not buy this kit? This kit is a should buy for me, like hands down. It is super fun, super interesting. I am interested to see how it's going to get nerfed though. This kit is brand new, so I could see it getting nerfed, like putting the drone in chest. I could see that getting nerfed or removed completely. The drones being 15 iron, I could see that price getting raised, as right now they're literally just the dominant way to get to the diamond generators first and steal all the early diamonds. So I could see it getting nerfed, but as of right now, it's super unique, super fun. It's kind of like a farming kit, but it's not like you have to sit at your, well, you probably do want to sit at your base, but it's not like Fisher where you got to fish for things, and it's not like Farmer where you need pre-resources to build plants and grow them, and it's not like Miner or Bounty Hunter where you have to kill people for resources. You're basically just getting more resources and farming in a sense by stealing the resources off the map, which is almost better than something like Fisher because you're basically taking resources out of play for other teams as well. So whereas Fisher, if I was just sitting there fishing up diamonds, this kit is directly stealing diamonds from the teams that I'm versing, right? So if I'm stealing their diamond generators and they're not paying attention and I'm getting all those diamonds, well, now they're really far behind in upgrades because I've stole all their diamonds, I've stole the diamonds near my place, and now we have all the diamonds and we're ramping up, but we're also stealing from them, so they're not getting as much either. So it makes this kit super interesting, super spicy, and kind of a new way to farm in Roblox Bedwars. I do think the kit probably needs some fine tuning, as it could be considered borderline overpowered in a sense, but we'll just have to see what the developers honestly think about this whole thing. I still think it's a should buy. I think it's a fun kit. Even if it takes some nerfs, I think it'll still be a pretty enjoyable kit to own. And on that note, we got nothing else left to do but to thank those lovely YouTube members. So thank you Mom Peas, Redwood Deadwood, Easter Axolotl, A9 Gaming, Darkest Troller, Finally Cringe, Giftogin, Epic Gaming, and Wolfite. Thank you all so much for being members of the channel. And on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.